Good evening and welcome to episode 4 of God's Roadmap. We continue through chapter 1 this evening, and that is my testimony. And we closed yesterday talking about the day that I gave my life to the Lord, telling the Lord I would do whatever He asked. I just wanted to live for Him, and I prayed for a baby girl that day. The next week, uh, Darlene and I went up to uh, Las Vegas. Oh, it was 5 weeks later that Darlene and I went up to Las Vegas. We were in a bowling league, and our end of season tournament was in Las Vegas, and it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed that season. We actually finished second place in the league, and the week that the league ended, we beat the first place team uh, when we played them that night. So that was a big thing for us, and it was a lot of fun, like I said. But when we went up to Vegas, uh, we went to see Marty Allen and his brother, and that was good, wholesome comedy. And that evening, as we were turning in, we looked out of our window, and the Stratosphere Tower, which is at Vegas World, caught on fire. It wasn't complete in construction yet, but that tower was 1,000 foot tall at that time. And they were just getting ready to put the top on that tower. And so, if you have ever been to Vegas, it is going to be the tallest thing in the city by a long shot. But as it was on fire, it was spewing ash out of the top of this tower like a volcano. And it was raining down on our part of the building. And the alarms went off, and we got evacuated. And it was about 12 o'clock at night. And we were evacuated in the streets and sitting in the middle of Las Vegas Boulevard till about 3 o'clock in the morning. They let us go back into our hotel rooms. Uh, so that was a crazy time. But I told Darlene as we were sitting there looking at this fire that I believed that was a sign from God. And she said, "You're crazy." and and maybe I am, but I'm crazy about the Lord. All right. Well, as it was, we came back, and the next week was the Sunday before I turned 35, and Darlene took me out and bought me a birthday gift. And she was telling me, I want to get a early pregnancy test because I'm late. And I was like, those tests are expensive, and the only tests we've ever seen is negative, so why don't we just save the money? And even though I said I knew that the Lord was with me and somehow Darlene was going to get pregnant, I didn't believe enough to spend the $16 on the pregnancy test. So, but she finally wore me out, and we got the pregnancy test, and the pregnancy test came back positive. She was pregnant, the test said. And we were just like, ah! It's crazy. I said I never wanted to start a family after I was 35. And here it is, the Sunday before my 35th birthday. And Darlene tells me that she's pregnant. So our neighbor across the street worked in an OBGYN clinic, and she had the keys. It was Sunday. They went down, and Darlene did 2 more pregnancy tests. They both came back positive. And so Darlene was pregnant. And that was an incredible time. And as it was, Darlene, this was in September. Sarah was born in May. And when Sarah was born in May, she was born on May the 22nd at almost midnight. So when I count my days, I was counting the 23rd and 24th as 2 days, right? So on the 24th, our neighbor across the street had their first baby girl. This was our first baby, and they had their first baby. This is the couple that prayed with us after they read Deuteronomy chapter 7 that said no womb would go barren. And he prayed that no womb would go barren. And here his wife has a baby 2 days after us. And then 2 days later, the neighbor that lived 2 doors on the other side of us put up a sign that said, "It's a girl." I didn't even know they were pregnant. And they had a baby girl. So we had 3 baby girls born within 2 doors of my house, all the same week. No womb would go barren. And I'm telling you what, it was a fertility prayer. If I've ever seen one, God had a big laugh with that. Well, Darlene couldn't deny that God had done this for us, and she gave her life to the Lord. And we started to attend church at Sea Ridge Community Church in Laguna Hills, California. And I am going to get more into my time at church tomorrow, but it was so undeniable that the Lord had given us this child. And one of the ways that he did it, apart from the fertility dose of fertility being poured out onto our neighborhood, and it wasn't just our little 3 homes there that had the 3 babies. By the end of the next month, there were babies all over between us and the block. 1 block from us, I saw babies all over the place. And we only had 1 baby up to that point in our neighborhood. And so it was incredible. But Darlene had told me that Sarah was born on her cousin's 10th birthday. I thought, that's kind of cool that she was born on her cousin's 10th birthday. And it just didn't think about it. I didn't think about it too much when she told me that. But there was kind of a mystery behind that it didn't dawn on me for like 2 days. I had to ask Darlene. Then I said, Darlene, how long did it take Dorothy and Jerry to have a baby? Because they also had fertility problems. And she told me 13 years it took them to have a baby. And it took Darlene and I 13 years to have our baby. And these 2 girls, born 10 years apart to the day. And if that's not the fingerprint of God, then there isn't one. And there is This was the fingerprint of God. It was undeniable. And I'm telling you that God moves in such ways and gets joy in just astounding people with his splendor and his timing and the way that he orchestrates all things together. He wants to orchestrate your life, and he wants to orchestrate my life. And I pray that you will let him be the conductor of your life and write a musical that will be heard for all eternity. I hope that you will join me tomorrow and that you will continue in this journey down the path of God's roadmap to the rapture of the church. And my prayers are with you, and God bless you and keep you, and God make his face to shine upon you and give you peace. And be blessed now in Jesus' name. See you tomorrow. Bye.